Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun.
I remember that show.
Do-do-do. What show?
The one you're humming about.
What show? What show was that?
I know the theme song. I just can't.
Because I wasn't really humming the theme song to anything, Steve.
I remember.
So I'm glad that you remember that. And maybe we can get to the bottom of this tonight.
Maybe somebody else will know. I know it was a show, but I can't remember what it was. I mean, you're subconsciously probably remembering it as well, and that's why you're.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm doing? Is that where I'm going?
I don't know where you're going.
What the hell?
Well, besides there.
In a handbasket? More like a fanny pack. That's what I'm really going to hell in.
A handbasket.
No, a fanny pack.
Oh. I was kind of doing something else and not listening.
Yeah, no shit, right? Much like you do all the time.
Well, you know, I can't read and listen at the same time.
Glad glad you can make it at least this week, Steve.
Well,
you know, I know it's so hard when you live in a state where it snows.
Well, I was
to calculate the time needed.
It was 45 minutes from home.
Yeah, I've been 45 minutes from home and still made it home for the show.
In a snowstorm.
In a snowstorm.
You didn't even know you were supposed to leave the house that day.
I've had that happen, yes.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah. Whatever.
You plan ahead, Steve.
How come
plan ahead? You plan and forge ahead.
You can't always plan ahead.
Sometimes.
I made it this week. That's all that matters.
You did. You fucking made it, Steve.
That's right.
You, Steve, you're a legend.
I am. I saw the picture.
Yeah, let's not.
It says legend on it.
Let's not go there yet.
I remember that picture.
Shut your mouth.
All right.
Shut your mouth.
I think I know where this one's going. It's going to be one of them kind of shows, ain't it? Thanks, guys.
This is the Fortean Slip, episode 68, The Legend of Sweetwater. Welcome to the show. Steve, it's so good to have you back.
I go for one show and I'm a legend. I had to do that more often.
You are a legend.
I am.
Oh my God, are we on the air?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
What the hell was that?
Is that a soundboard?
Holy shit.
Hold on. Let me figure out which one it is.
What's that special effect?
That's the legend.
Steve Alcorn sucks special effect.
That was the legend effect.
The legend effect?
Yeah.
So
it's the non-copy and paste effect.
Yeah. No, really?
Let me mute my...
I couldn't have determined that. Steve. What are we going to do with you, Steve?
I don't know.
I've been contemplating it for a long time now.
Yeah?
What to do with you?
Yes.
Well, yeah, kind of. You know.
Mute. There we go. I'm good.
You got to mute?
I did it. I muted. I mean, I muted the other. Yeah. Never mind.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead with the show.
The show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Or not. Because I don't think I want to be on this one.
Why not, Steve?
I don't know. Just something tells me that something's going to happen that I may not like.
Steve, when have I ever, pulled one over on you?
It would be easier to answer when you haven't.
I mean, it's a love-hate relationship, Steve.
Well, I know it is. I hate that I love to be on this show. So.
Steve. I don't know why you got to be that way, Steve.
I'm trying not to.
Well, what do you mean?
Or maybe I'm trying to. I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't know what? What?
You got me all confused.
Is this what happened during the snowstorm?
Got confused?
Yeah.
A little.
We're going into
What the hell is that? Hey, it's me. Oh,
Well,
I
you
love that
know.
picture, man.
Oh my goodness. It's Jesus.
It's Jesus Christ.
Oh wait, no. Jesus doesn't wear glasses. It's a cult leader.
It's fucking David Koresh.
Oh wait, no. It's Sweetwater legend Steve Alcorn.
I have no idea what Sweetwater even is. Some dude used to message me all the time. And he ran whatever the Sweetwater Taffy crew is. I haven't heard from him in years.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Oh,
we're
we know
gonna
what
tell
it
you
is,
what it is.
Steve.
I have
don't
no
you worry
idea.
your sweet little head over it. We know
Oh.
exactly what the Sweetwater Taffy crew is.
I have no idea. What is it?
It's well, at first we thought it was a pedophile hangout.
No. It was something about Bigfoot.
No.
No.
It wasn't?
No.
You
Well,
mean he lied to me?
Technically, at first, I thought it was a candy store.
Yeah.
Sweetwater Taffy, yes.
The crew of Sweetwater Taffy.
Yes.
That was our first assumption, Steve.
Oh boy. What
And I
did I get
assumed
myself
Sweetwater was like a location, and you had been, for some reason, awarded legendary status wherever this Sweetwater was.
Yes. Texas, probably.
Legendary Bigfoot researcher.
See, it does
And
talk
owner
about
of Sasquatch Scoop, Matt. Let's not forget this.
I used to be. I don't own it no more.
You don't?
Well, I still kind of do, I suppose. Not the .com part, though.
Ah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, what did you guys find out?
Are you familiar with the reality TV series Dance Moms?
Oh, yeah. The guy was a big fan of Dance Moms. I remember that.
I bet he was. And I'm still reserving judgment on if it's a pedophile hangout or not.
Go on.
Steve, let's just say that all the pictures that say Sweetwater legend besides yours
Mm-hmm.
are all of girls in scantily, but when I say girls, I mean like young girls.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
in like the small dance outfits.
Right.
So there's a picture of you
Yes.
amongst all these young girls in dancing outfits.
And heavily clad makeup.
The guy was a big fan of Dance Moms.
Oh.
Well, apparently Sweetwater Taffy crew is one of those dance units.
Right.
And you are a legend of
Did you dance for the
of
Sweetwater
said
crew?
group.
I'm not much of a dancer, no.
Steve, did you shake your moneymaker?
No, I think he was involved with the show somehow. I don't remember. It's been years. What is that from? Like 2013. Come on.
Steve, that's not that long ago.
Legends last forever, Steve.
Well, yes, I am a legend. Even of things that I don't, aren't involved in. I'm still
So, like these dance crews are very much like pageants, like
Yes.
pageant mom type
Uh-huh.
scenarios. Mostly frowned upon outside of the southern United States. But we're not here to discuss that. What I'm kind of curious as to why this dance crew.
Listen, Matt, most of the racism in the southern states is not looked at fondly from the rest of the country.
Yeah, that's true too. But just how did the decision to make you a Sweetwater legend come to be? Like, why would a young female dance crew decide to feature you on their Facebook page as a legend?
I don't know.
And what qualifies you as a legend?
What doesn't qualify me as a legend? Now, come on.
Well, I mean, here's a post
I
about
know
you.
tons of things that disqualify.
there's
And
a
you're
post about
tagged in the post, and you can see clearly you liked it. You gave it a thumbs up, so you approved
Yes.
this legendary status.
Yeah, of course I approve legendary
And you never
status.
questioned the source or as to why.
I can't remember the gentleman's name who
Steve's a guy that would investigate everything.
I investigated the guy back then.
But when it
I
came
remember
to
doing
this, then
No, I
tell
did.
us.
It's been
what
so
you-
long, and I didn't find anything wrong with the guy except that he liked dance moms and was involved with the show somehow.
But I didn't see many pictures of the moms on the website.
No, and that was a little odd, sure.
A little odd.
He said something about he ran the dance crew or something. I can't. It's been so long. I mean, it was 2013.
He ran a human trafficking website.
No, he did not run. Just because people have different ideas than you doesn't make it wrong.
That's the excuse
It depends on those ideas, Steve.
I'm going to guess the guy wasn't exactly, heterosexual or anything. Maybe he found me. I mean, you can't be a guy and be a big fan of dance moms. I mean, it's just not. I mean, a heterosexual male. And
Well,
why not?
there's nothing wrong with that.
Steve,
What was that?
what kind of blanket statement was that?
I suppose you could be a fan of the show, but not that much of a fan.
Well, he also seems to be quite the fan of you.
And that's fine. I mean, I have a lot of gay fans. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I have a lot of straight fans as well.
No, you're just going to question the sexuality of men that watch Dance Moms.
No, not to just watch Dance Moms. I would watch it, but I wouldn't get excited about it at all.
You sure?
All you have to do is really hand him a shovel, huh?
Yeah, and he just
starts digging.
Like I've never seen somebody be able to dig a hole and bury themselves at the same time.
He just throws it really high up in the air.
I mean, I was fully aware of the guy's involvement with the dance crew and all that stuff. I knew that.
Were you? Did you okay the artistic vision that he changed?
No. He
picture into.
No, he did that all on his own.
Oh, because I like that. I like that. And Matt had asked me where this picture came from.
Oh,
I had to inform Matt that this came from the Team Taser
beard contest.
The
guy was part of. The guy was in the Team Taser group back in the day.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, and that's how he found the pictures and all that.
Nobody shout out any names.
No, it wasn't that guy.
Well, you've been painting a picture.
As far as I know, it could have been. Maybe it was.
I actually thought you were in costume.
That's my grandma's thing.
That's your grandma's shawl.
Yes, it has the hat on it, and I still have it somewhere.
Why were you wearing your grandma's headgear?
Because we were supposed to put up pictures of us with the beards and the.
What does that have to do with your grandma's shawl?
I wanted to stand out
by wearing female clothing, and you wondering why the dance mom lover chose you, singled you out to be the legend.
Yeah, they
didn't
choose me, Matt, and I won. I mean, I won the contest.
Well,
so technically, Chris should be the Sweetwater legend.
That's right.
Did
you see that beard I was rocking?
Yeah, your beard was just normal. Mine was crazy and wild.
It is crazy. I can see here.
Yes,
it's like a road map through the mountains.
It was. Hey, it was a contest.
So, for anybody that doesn't know, in 2012, Steve and I were a part of a Bigfoot group, a Facebook group on Facebook called Team Taser, and they decided to have a beard contest. Why we decided to have a beard contest, I don't know. And there were a bunch of us who were just all in with this. Like, we had to post pictures and or videos, yada yada yada. And it was This is around the time that Steve and I became friends. I started talking to Steve while we were going through the contest, and we were just bullshitting back and forth about this whole thing. Because, like, we were all having fun and posting these pictures. And, you know, it definitely was a competition. Like, we definitely, there were those of us who were very serious about it and wanted to, you know, make it fun and enjoyable for everybody. And I think Steve and I were two of those people. And what came out of that was that I won the contest, mostly because I sang fucking Rainbow Connection with a Kermit the Frog Disney hat on, Mickey Mouse hat. And you can find that on YouTube if you so desire. It is out there.
Apparently, anything that's ever posted on the internet just sticks around.
Yeah, this is a fucking fine point right here.
And totally unrelated to that story. In 1987, Steve Alcorn released a solo album entitled Sweetwater Legend.
And that would make a nice album cover, wouldn't it?
That's what I thought it was.
We were like, does he play the guitar?
Like, is this folk music? What's going on?
Is he the new Jim Croce?
This is his solo recorder album.
Yeah, that beard contest though was, I mean, for me it was a lot of fun. I was at a real low point in my life at that time, and just being able to connect with people in that way. And
wait a second, how do we know it was a guy? I don't even know if it was a guy. That
Steve, you're the one that knows this information, so
you said the guy was in Team Taser and everything else. So.
Well, the person. I don't know. They went by some weird.
The person. We're using fucking pronouns now.
Okay, go back to beard contest.
Christ.
I'm researching.
Yeah, do your fucking research, asshole. So, it was a rough time. I you know, was going through a lot, and I connected with a lot of these people on the Team Taser page. And you know, some of those people I am still friends with to this day, and most of them I am not. And that's unfortunate. I think at one time we had a good group of people that really wanted the reality of Bigfoot. And I think somewhere along the way that got lost in look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. At least that's my take on it. And it is very unfortunate because I think back when we were doing that, when we were part of that group, there was a good portion of us that really wanted solid scientific research and the real stuff, not this, you know, bullshit that we see so often.
No, you guys were hated.
Oh yeah,
everybody thought you were assholes.
We were.
Yeah.
I mean, here was like an established Bigfoot community doing its thing. And then here comes a group of people that nobody's ever heard of trying to tell everybody what's right and what's wrong.
Well, yeah.
That knows absolutely nothing about the subject.
I had my head up my ass the whole time, man.
And, well, I was taking a hiatus. And I came back, and it's like, Team Taser, Team Taser. And I'm like, who the hell is Team Taser? Yeah. And unfortunately, I learned the hard way who they were.
Defunct group.
Well, don't worry. We learned the hard way too, man.
Well, everybody was just like, you know, oh, they're a bunch of assholes. Stay away from you. You don't want to get mixed up with those guys.
And they were right.
I barreled off into the middle of it. Who the hell are you guys? Why does everybody think you're assholes?
And for the record, a good portion of us were.
Well, yeah, and that's why we ended up being friends, because I was an asshole in the Bigfoot community. So it worked out.
Yeah, and there were towards the end of everything. Now I don't know how much validity there is to the fact that the Taser company actually came down on them
I'm kind of doubting that now.
about the whole name of the group. I know that Michael Merchant changed it to Zen Yeti and took a lot of his devout followers.
The beginning of the end.
Well, I mean, whenever you have a
believers.
group of people, but you want to change something without having to get their approval, you just, fake
That's a
along
good way
with
to do it.
Yeah.
So, I've been doing some research.
Oh.
Seems like the person behind the Sweetwater Tabby crew was, in fact, a female.
Oh.
Or is now.
Well, maybe now, yeah. They were, and I won't tell you how I found the answers, but they were posting in a group online.
Look on a sex offender website.
Well, not quite, but
Court records.
I mean, if she's listening now, I don't want to. Yeah.
If she's stalking you at this moment,
There were questions about her vagina online.
what?
Jesus
Yeah, she was asking questions about something about that. So
About her vagina?
yes, on a forum somewhere, Yahoo Answers actually. So yes, I found it. I found out she wasn't.
You mean Penthouse Letters?
No, Yahoo Answers. I could read the question.
And I
but
pulled her pants.
I would like for you to
realized she
read the
had a
question.
half
But
dick, half vagina.
if this person's still around, and
You're not saying their name, just read the question.
okay, girls only vagina question. What is that thing that is like the tiny ball hanging from a string?
In the back of your throat?
It's between my vagina and a pee hole. In my pee hole.
What?
I'm telling you the question. You asked. And it seems to cover my vagina hole. I know that I'm not some sort of freak because I change my niece's diapers all the time and they have it too. God.
Wow.
It says women's only, girls only vagina question.
Then I guess we shouldn't. I guess we shouldn't have delved in, Steve.
I tried to tell you.
I would like to retract.
But that is from the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well,
Moving on, Steve.
I wanted to prove that this was not some sort of pedophile ring.
It didn't prove anything, Steve. It
we
only
still have
solidified the theory.
More questions than answers now, Steve.
They also asked about smelly dog farts, painful gums. I know what state they live in, and baby
Ohio.
lizards. No, not Ohio,
No.
actually.
Florida.
No. And they're Mormon.
Oh.
Pennsylvania.
Or Utah.
No,
Could be Utah, Matt.
it's Pennsylvania.
Could be. I think you might be right, though.
It's Arizona,
Yeah.
Iced tea?
which I seem to remember in the conversations. I never asked this person if they're a man or a woman. Why would I?
They don't know, so what difference does it make?
Apparently, yeah. They don't know what
It's
the
Pat.
hangy downy thing is. That's what the question was about.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you tell me what the hangy down thingy is in your vagina? I'm really concerned. It's because it's between your pee hole.
I'm reading some of these other questions. Where they ask a lot of questions about hair color and hair dye, that kind of thing. So I'm assuming.
As you should.
It also refers to you as a legendary Bigfoot researcher.
Yeah.
Well, I was. At the,
Steve, no, let's fucking break this down. Legendary Bigfoot researcher.
At the
Armchair Bigfoot researcher, maybe.
well, aren't they all?
No.
Most
No,
of us?
haven't you ever seen Steve Culls?
Well, you throw on a little bit of camo and expect it.
Haven't you ever seen Todd Standing?
Yeah. I mean, come on, that man. Like,
you ever
Tim
seen-
Pisano?
No, if I don't measure up to Fasano, that's for sure.
Does
I mean-
anyone, Steve?
No.
yeah, he needs a special kind of tailor. We did, however, Matt, when we had Fasano on, we got to the bottom. of the Tim Fasano picture, the infamous
Yes, we
The
did.
picture.
The picture.
the picture, the one that we all questioned.
Yeah. The swipe left picture.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
did in fact find out that it was legit. That was really Tim in that
Yeah.
picture.
That was really Tim, and yeah.
And he was proud of it too.
Who took the picture?
I don't recall.
I can't remember if he said he took it or his girlfriend took it, but it was for his girlfriend, according to Tim.
And it leaked onto the internet.
So,
No, I think he probably posted it himself.
yeah, I think we're pretty
He
sure.
keeps it on his rearview mirror in his taxi.
That's right. Hey, that's me, by the way.
He was,
In case you're wondering.
when we mentioned the picture, he seemed to be very proud of it.
Oh yeah, he didn't back down at all.
No, not at all. I thought he would. I thought there was going to be some sort of great story behind it that somebody photoshopped it or some shit and it wasn't. No, that's all Tim.
Yeah, that was Mr.
All
Fasano.
Tim.
Tried and true.
Now it still could be photoshopped, but if it was, Tim did it.
You know, yeah. Maybe for another time. But,
Oh, come on, Matt. Don't leave us in suspense.
well, I don't want to offend anyone, but since we're already like going down
I'm
that
talking
rabbit
about-
hole on this show,
You guys
I
already-
honestly
me.
always thought Tim Fasano was gay.
No,
A lot of people did.
no, he's not gay.
Yeah, he as far as we're aware, he's straight.
Very much heterosexual.
Well, I mean, if his girlfriend took the picture,
Well, yeah, and he used to photograph. Well, I guess it doesn't make him straight, but if you do some research,
Why is it that things have to like relate to being straight or gay for you, Steve?
because Matt brought it up.
I always thought he was. Like, I thought that
we didn't
like,
think he was gay because of his photography.
yeah, this was
Steve.
before I ever saw the photograph.
No, he used to photograph, not photograph, photograph
He used to photography.
beautiful women. I mean, he was actually quite the photographer.
Were they aware of it? Did you say foot photographer?
I said quite the photographer.
I thought you said foot photographer.
Oh, he
Like, why are his angles always from underneath a dressing room wall?
like calendar girls and stuff like that. He used to do that sort of thing.
He used
Why
to
you didn't-
invite women up to his hotel room and say, "I can make you a star."
You
So-
want to be famous?
His Bigfoot photography doesn't look the same as his real photography. He's right.
No,
No, not even close.
doesn't not quite as clear.
I think he's using
Blurry lens.
a flip phone camera to take the pictures of Bigfoot, and he was using real professional photography equipment to take the other pictures. That's the only thing I could figure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh, thank you.
there you go. Steve. We'll let you out of the old.
There was nothing nefarious behind that picture. It was,
Yeah.
I have the original somewhere. It's in color.
Hanging on his wall.
Yeah. Why don't you have Fred do a fucking realistic drawing for you?
Now, let me see if I can find it, and I'll do a screen share.
Oh boy.
You could carry on.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, since we're taking this little trip down memory fucking lane, this was about the time right after this when the beard contest finished up that we had met Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody shaved and
And Matt was like, "Oh, I can talk to these people now."
what do you mean beard contest?
It wasn't to try and find a beard for Richter, just so you know.
Yeah, we actually met in one of these very hangouts.
Yes. And there was, I think, one of the first nights that Matt and I really got talking. There was a female member
Oh,
in the hangout, and I know I've talked about this on air before, but
I don't recall.
and yeah,
Don't recall.
she started sending me some risque pictures,
I was actually in her town yesterday.
and
The red light
don't
district.
narrow it down.
There's a lot of towns.
Yeah, and I literally messaged Steve, and I'm pretty sure Matt, and I'm like, I'm just gonna see how far I can take this, and it went pretty
All the
far.
way.
It went all the way, May.
I'm still having trouble locating that photo, but I will find it.
I don't know why you're having such a hard time.
Well, because I got thousands of photos on
It
this
took me
computer.
seconds.
Seconds. It was 2013.
Yeah.
That was a long second.
No, it wasn't. I never looked for it before.
Well, what made you look for it now?
You're one of those people that I entertain myself with from time to time by studying on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I
And then, of course, he can't help himself, Steve.
I can't.
He can't help himself. He immediately sends it to me.
I'm sure you've seen that picture before, though.
I've
Chris
no,
had.
I've seen
Chris
the
had
original.
seen the original.
Yeah, I've seen the original. I'd never seen the updated Sweetwater Legend.
That was posted on my timeline. I'm pretty sure of it.
And my comment on my own post on my page was, he turned all the sweet water into wine.
Yes, I did. I can't find it. Damn it! I have it somewhere.
I think I saved all mine on my Facebook page somewhere. I think I have a whole folder of beard contest photos. It might not be on there. It might be on an actual computer, but
while we're taking this journey, why don't you give me a little lesson on something, a little piece of history?
Oh,
in the Chris and Steve relationship.
We don't have any relationships.
Oh, yes, you did.
Okay.
This isn't you guys' first endeavor or project working together.
We don't talk about that first one.
you know, if I could fucking pipe the audio in, I would play for the people, Ratman and Sea Dog.
Do any of those still exist? Or
They're all
Can you just explain
they're out there. If you look
what
on,
it was?
okay, so to illuminate everyone, back when we were involved in Team Taser, there was a call to the people that they wanted content. They wanted stuff that, you know, we could put out and let our, you know, the audience of the group and or other people see. At the time, Ro, Sahibi, Sean Evidence, Michael Merchant, and Damian Bravo, on and off, we're doing the Extinct podcast.
And off and on and on.
Yeah.
And then off.
Then aw.
Then might be on, then off.
Yeah. We don't know.
Better off.
Yes. So there was like you know, a call for extra content. So you had people like Jeff Kelly, who started doing the Squatchers Lounge podcast. Rick DeRiolo, who started doing the After Hours show. And
never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
No.
You weren't a part of that, Steve?
Oh,
The number one Bigfoot podcast on the internet, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah. Not by views, but so I came up with this crazy idea because I thought that Michael Merchant and Phil was actually part of that group to a larger degree than we were. As far as the Extinct podcast, he wasn't a member of the podcast, but he was integral in the whole thing. So you had Phil putting out his breakdowns. You had, you know, Jeff putting out the Squatchers Lounge, Richter doing his thing, and the Extinct podcast, all that bullshit. So I came up with this idea because I thought that Merchant and Phil would get a kick out of it doing an old-timey radio show. Now, when I had decided to go on this endeavor, Steve and I were talking regularly. Like, it was all the time we were talking. And so I was like, dude, we should try doing this thing. I'm thinking about, trying to put it together because I downloaded audio software for the first time. And it was, I was trial and error, trying to figure out how to do it. And I came through it. And by the way, I rarely look at the chat room, but Dean, fuck off.
Oh boy. I'm not allowed to look at the chat.
Fuck off. I swear to God. Could you go through a whole show and not bitch about the fact that we're saying something about something that has nothing to do with something else? Like, really? We're talking about Team Taser. Eat shit. I think you have another show to go be on.
Tell us what you really think, Chris.
Fucking love of Christ. So I got the audio. I think it was it's Audacity that I downloaded. And I started trying, messing with the audio files and recording stuff, and I wanted to try and put something out, so I thought that they would enjoy this kind of old-timey radio show idea. So it's such horse shit. I can't. I go back and I listen to it and I cringe. I'm like, ah!
I cannot act.
Yeah. So like, I start writing up these screenplays, if you will, Matt, of Steve and I doing Bigfoot investigations with fucking Michael Merchant, and it was just,
so shitty,
so bad. So I send.
It was fun though.
I send Steve the his lines, and I like went through and I like tried to like put my all into it, and I'm like, I did like running upstairs shit and breathing heavy and like fucking I'm all into it, and you've got me with all this fucking emoting, and then you got Steve going, okay, Chris.
Chris, look, it's a Bigfoot.
Pretty fucking much. Like it would literally go from sound effects and me emoting to Steve just okay.
Hey, that's what I said when we first started this particular show. This is not an act. This is it. I can't.
Well,
act.
I mean, everybody's familiar with Steve reading the news, so
It was worse than that.
I can imagine what it was like to have him read a script.
Him reading lines wasn't any better.
But I thought it was fun. I mean, it was funny in its own way because I couldn't act. I thought I was doing great.
Well, at the time, I mean, we thought it was fucking fabulous, and we did get one good thing out of it. Fucking Skookum cigarettes.
That's right.
Skookum.
My idea, by the way.
Yeah. So Steve started fucking around with GIMP, I think it was at the time.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you how to do it now, but back then I was pretty good with it.
And he sends me this fucking image of a pack of cigarettes, that with a Bigfoot on it, and it says Skookum cigarettes. So I made the Skookum cigarettes commercial. Mm-hmm. And I actually, like, just this past week, I went back onto my old channel and listened to a couple of the promos that I had made for it. Entertaining. But if I try to fucking listen to that goddamn show, it's just very short. Like, I have a hard time making it like 5 seconds in.
What were we thinking?
Oh, God. I equate it to like I've listened to a lot of talk radio with comedians, and when they go back and listen to their early sets, they have such a hard time getting through it, and that's what I equate it to. It's sort of like if we were to go back and listen to our first shows. I've tried,
or even 2 weeks ago.
What's that?
Or even 2 weeks ago's show. I mean,
wow. Actually, to be honest, like nowadays, I enjoy listening to the show.
Yeah,
because I don't hear all the trepidation in my voice. There was a lot of nervousness in the beginning, and that all went away. And I think I was talking to Matt about this recently, about how I don't remember when it did. I don't remember when all of a sudden I was just like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Hmm.
You know, it is what it is. And I don't even get, excited if I'm being asked to go on somebody else's podcast or whatever. I'm just, this is just what I do. I talk into a fucking microphone. But trying to listen to those early shows, like the first, I don't know how many, it is fucking rough.
We did 9 or 10 of those, didn't we?
What are you talking about
Rat
No, we did 2.
Toe Jam and Earl.
I thought we did more than 2.
Oh no, it was almost one and done, Steve.
Well, that was also at that time was when the whole taser thing fell apart.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we had decided that at one point we had decided we wanted to do the podcast, and that was after Team Taser fell apart. And our initial idea was to tell the truth about Team Taser. Unfortunately, that show will never see the light of day. I don't know where the fucking audio went. I don't know what I did with it.
I wish you had it, because I'd love to listen to that.
I so wish I had it. I would play it live. It's
well, we did get a little rough in that. I do
It was like, I'm pissed off. Are you pissed off? Yep. Let's do a podcast.
let's do it. Exactly.
Well, no, we had
That's
talked
what it
about
was.
we had talked about doing a podcast prior to the breakup, I'm sure.
It was in the works,
Yeah.
but there were things that happened. Steve and I kind of got read the riot act by people who thought that they could swing their dick around.
Yeah, well.
And they promptly learned that Steve and I would pull ours out and beat him with it. Because we didn't give a shit.
Well, we could have done a lot more as far as throwing people under the bus back then, but we didn't want to be those. I mean, we wanted to.
Well, after we had done the show, the original show that never got posted or put out there, Steve and I kind of sat there and were like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
We should have done it anyway.
Yeah, we should have. And in retrospect, it would be a great thing to like put out now as like a joke, because who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But we did call out a lot of people, and there was a lot of fuckery that went on with that, and that's part of the bigger reason, excuse me, why we have such an issue with the way Bigfoot research is looked at and taken, and what's the word I'm looking for? How it's performed. Steve, we have a question from the chat room.
Ooh.
From an asshole.
Okay.
Alan Hentages.
Oh.
Why did Steve quit the Richter show?
Have I ever spoken about that?
I don't know if you've ever said anything as to why you got done.
Creative differences.
Is that where you're going with it?
Listen, I don't like to throw my personal issues on out there, and
I know
there was just some things that went on, and I wasn't a fan of them, and that was that. I never was asked to leave the show, and I never officially quit the show.
You just stopped doing it.
Yeah, I just stopped doing it. And
He no longer gets the link.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was not on Richter's show at one point, but I was fielding questions from the chat room.
Yeah.
For Richter. But it was what it was. I mean, it was a learning experience.
Let me just put it this way. Have you guys seen Richter's show where he does the what's he called, Off the Richter or whatever? Have you ever seen that?
No.
No.
Okay. Well,
I've like
if
no.
you've seen that show, then you don't have to ask why I'm not. It's just because people who, I don't know how to put it. People who all they care about is how they look above other people are just, I'm not fans of that kind of thing. And it has nothing to do with this Off the Richter show. I mean, that's his deal. If he wants to degrade people or whatever, I don't care. That's up to him. But I just couldn't get behind some of the things that was going on. That's all.
Yeah. And there is another question from Peckerhead, which I've answered, by the way, on this show. I don't know how many fucking times, but I'll answer it again. Why are Jeff Kelly and I no longer friends?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How many times?
No,
have you
now
answered the same
Alan's
fucking
just
question?
digging up. He's digging up dirt on purpose. Just to,
Okay, I have a question from the podcast.
Yeah.
Why is Al Hinchis such a fucking prick?
We'd all like to know the answer to that question, Matt. We'd all like to know.
Why does he hate
don't
you
like
so
him.
much?
Don't like him.
Why does he dislike you so much, though?
Don't give a fuck that he listens to the show.
I'm just saying. Like, I always see his comments, and he's like, "Great show, but Chris sucks." Like,
Yeah.
What did you do to him?
I don't know. I'm still unaware. So, but to hash this out one more fucking time, I'll be quite clear. Jeff Kelly decided to do a paid Bigfoot outing, and I told him over and over and over again, listen, we constantly call this shit out on our show. Paid Bigfoot outings. It was a thing that we were just vehemently against. And I said, I'm gonna say something about it. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't like the idea of those. I have a problem with paid Bigfoot outings. And because I think that to say that you're going on an outing for Bigfoot is kind of pretentious, for one. So they go out and they do their outing, and they come back, and this guy Stelios Kontos, I think was his name.
Stelios.
I wonder.
He claimed that he caught a Bigfoot on video, but it wasn't good enough to release to anybody. But some people saw it, and anyway. So they supposedly they found tracks, which they didn't, by the way. So Jeff had messaged me and said, dude, the thing stood on the hill and looked at me in my hammock. And I'm like, really? Like, at first I was like, that's, awesome, you guys. And then of course I, did a little research and talked to some other people, and and I'm of the school where don't blow smoke up my ass. I don't need it. There's no need for it. Like, it bothered me in a big way. And more because I'd met Jeff at that point. Like, I knew Jeff. We'd hung out. We had a halfway decent time. And like, you're my friend. You don't have to fucking bullshit me. Like, just tell me the fucking truth. But it was this purporting of bullshit that just, it set me over the edge. And I was just like, no, I mean, and I said, I have a problem with it, and I wanted to remain friends with him. But unfortunately, he didn't feel the same way. And I told him that I was more than willing to continue being friends, but that, due to the fact that I had a difference of opinion with him, I was going to make mention of it. Now, for the record, Matt and I are good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt and I have startling differences when it comes to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Huge differences.
Huge.
Okay. Now, the other night, I hope you don't mind me dredging this one up, Matt.
Oh God.
No, we're not going to get into the argument again. Matt and I got into a political debate the other night.
Oh God.
And it was like, God, how long did that go on, Matt? It was like fucking 2 or 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just fucking went for it. And
Ollie Frazier.
it's just back and forth. But at the end of it, like, and it was Matt that said it. He goes, I think that some congratulations are in order. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, dude, we just fucking had a political discussion that we didn't agree on, and we're both still friends.
Okay.
And I think that's at the core of this shit. That I think that people can disagree on shit and not have to hate each other. And
Sadly, that's not the way it is, though.
no, it's not the way it is. There's too much of this, because I'm not sitting here going, Matt should be dragged through the fucking alley. God damn it, he's wrong. And for the record, Matt and I do agree on quite a bit. But we have some startling differences.
Nobody's gonna agree on everything, though.
Exactly.
It's just whether or not you can respect the other person's opinion.
Yes.
And be okay with that in life. You know?
And I think that you and I are able to do that.
Yeah.
Just because we have a difference of opinion doesn't mean that we can't remain friends. And I think that's the important thing that I get out of all of this is some people are willing to accept those differences and still be your friend. Other people are not. And for the record, I wanted to remain friends with Jeff Kelly. He did not. And that is fact. And anybody that wants to dispute it can go suck a fat dick. Because that is the way that it happened. And I'm pretty sure everybody that's on this show can fucking back me up on that one.
Yeah.
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 Just stop fucking repeating, Matt, Steve. Don't be a Sweetwater legend.
You fucking parrot.
I'm not a fucking parrot. See, I repeated it again.
You're a dick.
I'm not a dick.
But these things that we went through kind of molded us into what we became as a show. Because we believed in calling things out and talking about the truth of the matter and the reality. And to say that, that's what we do, and then give somebody a complete pass because they're our friend, it doesn't make sense to me. And it doesn't come off as genuine. That comes off as that's like those political moves that happen. Like, I'm not going to do that shit. I had a difference of opinion. I made it known. And I was like, hey, even though we have this difference of opinion, I'm still your friend. And will remain your friend. But that was not good enough. So, hey, good luck to him. I hear everything's going wonderful for him on his YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Oh. I don't know. I haven't watched Jeff's show in a long time, so, and not because just because I don't do that sort of thing anymore.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to anything.
I don't watch Matt's show either, so.
Well, I don't watch it either.
No.
Yeah.
My show, I mean.
No.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
It's pretty much all audio anyway, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah. I have a hard enough time accomplishing that with the people involved.
Yeah, we don't have to go down that road. You don't need to burn bridges tonight, Matt.
Why not? I've got a can of gas and a lighter.
And like this harkens back to Matt was off the show for quite a period of time.
Yeah.
And Matt got busy doing some things. And I told Matt when it all happened, I was like, dude, you're making money doing something. Like, do that. Like, I'm not going to fucking hold you back and be like, no, you have to be on my show. This is where we started, man. No, fuck that. You go on and do the things that you want to do. and hey, Jeff is still doing it strong. I don't know if Richter's still doing it strong. I don't
He's doing something strong.
I happen to see Jeff stuff every so often.
Richter's got some cute puppy dogs now.
Hey, that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's all just wonderful. I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care about a guy who fucking spread lies about me.
Well, yeah. Well, that's his thing. That's his bag, and that's part of the reason that I don't do that anymore. But even as such, he's still on my Facebook page, and I still see his posts and stuff. I don't respond to them anymore. But I don't hate the guy.
Amazingly enough, I can see Richter's posts.
Yeah.
I can't.
Matt can't.
What did you do, Matt?
I didn't do anything.
So, I mean, because did I harbor some ill will towards the guy for a little while? Yeah, but I got over it. I mean, it's not whatever, I've never deleted anybody off my Facebook page unless there's certain people that have been deleted, but not for Bigfoot disputes, that kind of thing. Who gives a fuck? But as far as some political things, only because I don't want to see dead babies on my Facebook page and people were posting that kind of shit. So those people get deleted because even if I would agree with them, I don't want to see that, that kind of thing. But for Bigfoot arguments or things like that, I don't care.
There's another question from the chat room, but I can't figure out who it's fucking directed at because
we'll say it.
The person that fucking asked it didn't say who. It's just, is there anybody you guys worked with that he doesn't hate? Don't have any fucking clue.
It's directed at you, but to us.
That I don't hate? I don't hate those people.
I would like to say he doesn't hate myself and Steve.
I would like to say
Richard.
That. We're not sure.
I don't think he hates Richard.
Phil.
I don't think he hates Phil. I don't even think he hates Jeff.
Nope.
No.
Don't hate Jeff.
I don't think you hate.
I think it's sad that I lost a friend. Ultimately, I don't hate David Batdorf. David Batdorf and I are still good friends.
Right.
I don't even think you hate Richter, do you?
I don't. I think he's a dickhead, but I don't hate him.
No.
Here's the thing. Whether it be an amateur podcast online, no offense to Chris, myself, or anybody.
Amateur?
Well, I'm just saying.
Steve, it is amateur hour.
We're not getting paid.
Well, this channel is monetized, so that does make us professional.
Nobody is paying us, Steve. Okay? We're not in a contract. I'm just saying, whether it be this media venture or any other, it could be a primetime series, on network television. Whenever people decide to make things personal and do personal shit to hurt the others involved, things happen. Changes have to be made. People are still people. We have emotions. We have feelings. So whenever somebody does something that hurts us, guess what? We don't like them anymore. We don't continue to work with them anymore.
Yeah.
I was involved in some major blowups on my show. The last major blowup that happened on my show happened a year ago, and I still have people asking me about it. Like, I'm just going to put it all out there and tell them things happen behind the scenes. Like, we're friends. We talk outside of this realm. And, if Chris does something that hurts me or betrays my friendship, then I'm not going to be on the show anymore.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh.
He's not saying he's leaving, Matt. Steve.
I'm just trying to think if you've done anything like that, Chris.
So, people who listen to these shows need to just enjoy them for what they are.
Chill.
And chill out. And whenever things happen, if the people involved want to let you know, they'll let you know.
I haven't been on Richter's show since 2015.
Chris is extremely transparent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I haven't been on Richard's
I
show.
tell about my own fuck ups.
Yeah.
I mean, the first show of this reboot, I fucking told about how I completely ruined a relationship I had and how I fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
But-
On the show I do, it's about Bigfoot, so I try to keep it about Bigfoot and not all that personal stuff.
This show's about personal shit.
Well,
But-
no, it isn't that this show is about personal shit. It's that I prefer to be a bit more transparent because I think it's honest. And people don't, a lot of people don't subscribe to that. And I don't expect everybody, like I don't expect Matt or Steve to follow that suit. You know, when the stuff happened with Richard recently, I talked to Richard about doing it on air. About talking about that on air because it was something that had to do with the show.
Mhm.
And he agreed. And to be honest, according to him, he respected me for the way that I handled it. And, I still think the world of Richard. I do a news show with him every week. I help him out on his news program.
Watchable podcast.
The Squatchable Podcast, Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Try to find what fucking channel it's on.
Yeah.
So, for people to say that, I destroy relationships or whatever, you really need to go back and look at things because there are a lot of people that I still am in contact with and I'm very good friends with, like Matt was saying, Phil, David, Richard, Steve, Matt and I, there was a time, Matt was very busy for a long time. We barely spoke.
Yeah.
It was like, God, what was it? Like almost a year or so.
Well, I used to talk to Phil every day and I hardly ever talk to him. Apparently I'm only friends with Steve whenever I'm on the show and or need something. Me and Richard apparently are in different circles.
Yes.
I mean, that's just life, though. I mean,
yeah, it gets in the way.
It gets in the way.
And like you were saying, these are amateur podcasts. We don't just do this, and there are other things that are going on in our lives. If I could and I had the ability to, I'd put out more of these shows a week. And it
excuse me.
It is what it is. Sometimes you can't.
Well, we're both working towards doing this as a full-time thing.
I'd love to. I mean, someone had asked me recently, what would you do if you didn't have to worry about money? And I said, I'd fucking podcast because I love it. I enjoy it. I love getting on and bullshitting and having fun and laughing and making jokes. It's a good time. Like, and there was a time that this show stopped being fun for me.
Yeah, me too.
And I had to get back to the point where it was fun. And I enjoyed it. And
we even took a hiatus for a while, didn't we?
It was only like a month.
I know, but still, I think, yeah.
And yeah, it definitely, we lost some traction with it. So things happen, and this is not all we have. All our eggs aren't in this basket.
Shit, I do 2 other shows a week, plus my own YouTube channel, plus I do all this, other stuff that I do. I'm a pretty busy guy.
Yeah.
So.
And you still make time to come on here and
wait,
be the butt of our joke.
I need to,
Wait, we have another question. Is Chris still in trouble with the law?
Huh?
When were you? You for like briefly you were.
Yeah, like that was a long time ago, and it really wasn't trouble.
You weren't in trouble. You got arrested.
Yeah. And I'm very transparent about that and what I could say about it. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm afraid to talk about with that. And it's not because I don't want to tell people.
Right.
Because if the person involved decides to be a fucking cunt,
whoever that person is,
whoever that person may be,
the unnamed person.
Oh, I won't name the person. Then it could be considered a form of harassment. And I don't need it. I don't think anybody else needs it. Is the fucking plow coming over on my fucking microphone?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I can hear it, and I'm like, oh, is that coming over? It snowed here today, by the way.
Oh, I thought you were preparing for soybean season.
Yes. My soybean growing.
I
It's
thought
all
you
about the
had Amish
soy.
neighbors with horses and a. That's what I thought.
Oh boy.
It didn't. My joke wasn't nearly as good as.
No. Just hang it up, Steve.
I
Hang
tried.
the fuck up.
On
But yes,
occasion,
I did spend 2 days in jail for trumped up bullshit charge. Yeah. So I don't.
which you resolved quickly and got out. And
Yeah, and I had no other infractions, or I had no other bullshit going on because of it.
And my stepson got a speeding ticket. If someone would like to bring that up in 6 years.
Yeah, no, some of this stuff. I mean, like I was trying to say earlier, I haven't been on Richter's show since what, 2013 or 14 or something like that.
Around the Sweetwater legend time.
Yeah, stuff is still. And your dispute with Jeff was, God, how many years ago now? God, let it go.
Yeah, God, it was 2014 that happened.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. It's been a long while, because it was after I went on my honeymoon.
Which one?
My second one. Yes, I've had 2.
Oh, that's it? I thought you had more than that. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and third time's not the fucking charm, Steve. That's not happening again. It was what it was. It was a learning experience. I can tell you right now, like, I don't ever want to have to go through that again. So, we have another question from the chat room, actually, John.
This is question and answer night.
I know. Well, I couldn't do the whole show on the Sweetwater legend. Come on now, Steve.
Why not? I am a legend.
Do any of you guys go squatching or even camping anymore?
Fuck no.
Here's the deal.
Steve camps at Rite Aids.
Well, sometimes.
So
Yesterday was discount drug mart, but
I mean, there were a few times whenever I went out before I got into the Bigfoot quote unquote community, and I got involved with the online Bigfoot world in 1999. Met up with a group of people in 2000 and started going out with them on a regular basis. After about a year of that, I met a guy that lived in my home state that I became friends with, and he lived in a town that had pretty regular Bigfoot activity and sightings happening around outside of that town. And so I had an opportunity in my life at the time where I wasn't really having to worry about finances or a place to stay or anything like that. So during that period of time, I spent a whole lot of time in the woods. We would go out for like 2 weeks at a time, at least once a month. I mean, sometimes I'd spend the majority of a month in the woods. That's where I had the majority of my encounters and experiences and did the majority of my investigations. And that lasted for about 7 years. And eventually it got to the point where I was like, okay, the only way to progress from here is to do this full time. And obviously I can't do that. Like I still had to pay bills and such, and I wasn't getting paid to do the thing, and my living situation changed, and it just wasn't feasible to go out like that anymore. And in my own heart, I had accomplished the majority of things that I thought I could accomplish. So I turned my efforts more into like, okay, well, let's try to figure out what I've observed, what I've learned. And so no, I quit going out into the field. I mean, I've been out a few times since then, but nothing like I was or anything. I mean, after you have a Bigfoot sighting, what do you want to do after that? Unless you can afford, the equipment to try to go after video or something, or like, spend all your time in the woods to try and like learn something about their behavior or something. There's really no point. It's kind of like just because whenever you do experience something, it hardly ever happens. Okay. So like, imagine if you're spending a few $100 every time you do this, and the majority of the time there's no results. That gets expensive just to be doing it for the shits and giggles. And so I decided to pursue other avenues. And so far, nothing has changed in the Bigfoot world. Like, no advancements have been made. I'm not missing out on anything.
I think we've de-advanced. What's
Yeah.
the word?
Yeah. We have definitely regressed.
But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I have no desire to go squatching or bigfooting or whatever it is anymore. Do I go camping? I'm not big into camping as much as I used to be. I do like to hike still. I don't go nearly as much as I'd like to, but I do get out into the woods and get covered in fucking ticks because gotta love it. They're fucking everywhere up here. So I mean, I love being out in the woods and I love, hiking trails. I mean, anybody who goes, who's friends with me and goes on my Facebook page, you can see tons of pictures of me, that I've taken from hiking trails and mountains, and it's something that I love to do. My body can't handle it as well as it used to be able to. So I don't kill myself as much as I used to, but I used to literally every weekend be out in the White Mountains. I was in my car and gone, and had my dog with me. Boom, up a trail. Usually with a buddy. Well, always with a buddy. I never went by myself. I've always been one of those people that's kind of. It's not that I'm too afraid. It's just that if anything should ever happen, and you're by yourself, you're fucked. And I don't subscribe to that, type of thrill seeking, I guess.
I don't think I was ever a boots on the ground kind of guy in the first place. I mean, I did a little bit of it, but I was a fact checker.
Yeah.
That's it. So,
but I mean, I enjoy beyond the bigfooting world. I enjoy being out in the wilderness. I enjoy being outside like that. It's one of my true passions. I mean, they say that a lot of stuff is, it's about the journey, but when it comes to hiking, to me, it's getting to that peak and having that view that it's amazing. And one of the most amazing things I ever saw, I decided to hike East Royce, which is up in Evans Notch. It's on the border of Maine and New Hampshire. And it was just a kind of a really bad, overcast, drizzly kind of day. But my buddy Greg and I decided to go up anyway. And I'm like, the view from the top is gonna suck today. Like it's just we're not gonna be able to see anything. It's way too cloudy. We're gonna be in the clouds, basically. Which also would have been cool. But we got up to the peak and the cloud cover broke. And I was blown away by what I saw. I'm up there on the peak of East Royce, and you can look over and see West Royce, which is right next to it. And looking at West Royce to my left would have been Speckled and Ames Mountain. And further on past West Royce, Mount Meter, and the Baldface Loop Trail, which goes to both Baldface, North and South Baldface. But the way the clouds were, the way they were sitting in between the mountains and the way they were moving, it literally looked like an ocean in between all of the mountains because the clouds would crash onto the mountain and roll. And it was one of the most amazing things I ever saw, and I was so glad that I went, even though it was shitty. Because once I got through the cloud cover, it was one of the most amazing things I ever saw. And the other time I went, I decided to go, and it was literally during a rainstorm. I was with my ex-wife's brother, and we had stopped because it just started downpouring, and we were like kind of hiding under trees to try and get cover. And as soon as the rain stopped, we started talking about, do we go on? Do we keep going? Which we wound up doing. But as we're sitting there talking, trying to figure out what we're going to do, a peregrine falcon took off from like 10 feet away and flew directly between us. And they nest on the cliffs on West Royce. And I'd never seen one that close up in the wild. I had seen them flying overhead, but I'd never seen one that close in the wild. I had a science teacher in high school who raised them, and he brought them in for us to, and he flew one time out behind the school. He brought out his prize falcon, which was named Top Gun, which I thought was kind of funny at the time. But he actually brought in one of the chicks. I think that's what they're called. I don't fucking know. And it was amazing to get to see this, this baby falcon. And this guy was into everything. He had owls, falcons. He was very into birds, and it was interesting. So like, in my younger years, I get to see these things up close, in captivity. And then when I was an adult, I got to see them in the wild. And, it wasn't like I had gone there specifically to see them. That wasn't my reasoning. I just happened to like those trails. But yeah, I still like to get out, and it's just a matter of, do I have the health to be able to do it anymore? My back it's a fucking wreck. So, carrying any type of pack it's not undoable, but it's hard for me at this point. So, but I think we pretty much covered it all tonight, gentlemen. I'm not sure. You guys got anything else? No. Yeah.
Silent.
I'm still in awe of the Sweetwater legend. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, yeah.
man. When you're a legend, you're a legend. It doesn't matter what kind of legend you are.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it does. But I think we've solved the mystery that it is not a pedophile ring of any sort.
I think the jury's still out.
No.
Before we wrap up and get into the news, I will be putting up the t-shirt very soon. So as soon as I get everything figured out with that, and it's which site I'm going to use to have the t-shirts made, I will post it in the like page. Ladies and gentlemen,
Page.
there's a like page. If you're listening, and you would like one, you could let us know on the like page when I post it. Well, at that point, you probably just order it, but I will be posting it on the like page, not the group page, not on YouTube.
Do you think the printers can handle the demand?
Yeah, pretty fucking sure. And I don't think that I'm gonna fucking blow out on these things, that I'm gonna sell a lot. This is just a way for me to get the software that we could use for this show. And I'd like to get some new equipment so that I can continue doing this without having to worry about it. That's the only reason that I'm doing this. It's not a money grab. It's just to be able to get I do need some software because I'd like to have the production back for the show, and I'd like to have a little bit better equipment. And it's not a need by any stretch of the imagination, but it is stuff for the show. So, and when I do it, I will be posting showing. I will be sharing with you guys what I use it for. So, and there was something else. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Science Minute is back. I have decided to start doing the Science Minute. If anybody hasn't caught the new one, it's on the channel. I did it on the Megalodon teeth. I thought it came out well. I'm gonna start trying to put those out daily. I don't know if it will be 7 days a week, or what. But I do want to do them on the regular. I have a lot of fun doing them. They're pretty simple. They're easy, and it's a way for me to relay science stories that are within the Fortean genre. So I definitely intend to keep doing that. Matt was a big help in helping me get the artwork situated.
I was no help.
No help, nowhere to be found. Nothing.
I watched the first video. He sent me a link, and it took me a couple hours to get.
Yeah, and do you know what his response was, Matt?
Cool. Or
not
awesome.
Bad.
Not bad. That
not
was
bad.
Not bad. You can't even get an attaboy from Steve.
What do you want me to do, man?
Oh, geez, Steve.
Exactly. So, yeah, I do intend to do that, and I will be, for the record. I'm probably gonna start working on this tonight a little bit. Well, it's already been being worked on, but the bedtime stories will be coming back. I'm hoping to get one out this week. That's another thing that Matt was helping me with. We worked on some the transparencies for the artwork so that we can so that I can personalize every single one. Because I wanted that. Because before I just kind of threw pictures up, and the problem that I wound up having with it was a lot of my stuff got stolen off of YouTube.
Bastards.
It happens, Steve. We all know it happens.
A lot.
And so I just wanted them. If someone steals it, I just want people to know where it came from, rather than just someone stealing it and me not getting any recognition whatsoever. Because it is mine. I created it. I worked it. I worked on it. So, but my hat's off to Matt for all of his help with that stuff. It was we definitely hammered it out, and everything's like, as far as the artwork is concerned, for those two things, the Science Minute and the bedtime stories, it's all set and ready to go. I just have to start putting things together, and a lot of that has to do with finding the right audio and the right stories, etc. But hopefully I will get one out this week, and the Science Minutes will start pouring out regularly, because I enjoy doing them. So on that note, Steve, get some news tonight for us, buddy.
I can try.
Sweetwater legend Steve Alcorn with the news. How'd you like that, Steve?
I was waiting for the real intro, but
no, you don't get one until I fucking get the production going back up again.
All right, KHQ.com. Legend of Bigfoot resurfaces in Medical Lake. I don't know where that's at.
Washington.
Spokane, Washington. I got it. After behemoth biped tracks are spotted near a road. Ooh. It's an urban legend that goes back centuries, but is Bigfoot really real? Whether you're a believer or you think it's a myth, Sasquatch is back in the headlines after a Medical Lake man took pictures of what appear to be very large. I tried so hard not to stumble over my words, and I did it anyway.
One sentence in.
Yeah, it's not
very
perfect.
large tracks in the snow. There. I looked down and said, "Whoa, wait a minute," said Steve Meacham.
That's more emotion than he put into anything he ever recorded with me.
And we went back and saw those footprints, and they were humongous. Meacham isn't shy about sharing his belief in Bigfoot, but says he's not sure what or who the tracks belong to. It's a possibility it's Bigfoot, said Meacham. I can't say I'm 100% sure, but I hope so. The tracks measured 24 inches long with a 3-foot stride. Well, that's pretty big. Meacham, who says he first saw Bigfoot-like tracks in the late 1960s while camping in the Sierra Nevada mountains, is not the only believer, not by far. Since the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot footage first surfaced in 1967, many people started searching for more signs of the ape-like species. But this urban legend goes, see, now they say it's a thing, and then they say it's an urban legend. They can't get it right.
Yeah, but Steve, urban legends are usually rooted in truth.
That's right. We'll keep that small thread of hope.
There you go.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's right.
I've fucking seen it. Like, Jesus Christ. It's always the same shit with these articles. Like, they started out, whether you're a believer, what about the people that have seen them? There's literally thousands and thousands of people on record that have seen these things, or at least believe they've seen them. I find that pretty interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's some scientific method for you. Hypothesis. If a Bigfoot does in fact exist, people will report seeing it. Conclusion. True. There. We can move on.
By the way, KHQ reached out to, here's the government cover-up part of the story. KHQ reached out to the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, who say it's tough to tell from the angle of the photo, but they're likely human tracks distorted by drifting and heavy melting snow. The WDFW also says that only wildlife stride that long are moose, but you would see drag marks between the tracks. So it's not moose. Not moose. And
Yeah,
for some reason, I have that story pulled up.
Pretty sure a moose wouldn't look like a human footprint.
No, probably not. But
Just saying.
yeah. All right.
They have a hoof.
Okay. A woman. This is from ABC30.com. Woman claims demons told her to steal a rental car. That's what they usually do.
That's who tells me to steal rent-a-cars.
Jacksonville, Florida. A woman who was arrested after stealing an
Every
SUV.
time I go to rent a car, I have to be like, the power of Christ compels you.
A woman who was arrested after stealing an SUV from an Ace rent-a-car I got mixed up. WJXT reports that
It
Gardenia
was like we were in the middle of an exorcism. What happened?
Gardenia McCullough, her name is, appeared in court Friday morning on car theft charges with a bond set at $15,003. I don't know why the $3, but
was this out of Florida?
yes.
Okay. See, I equate this one to the woman who got caught with cocaine who said, "Oh, it flew in through my window."
I didn't hear that story, but
that was a good one.
McCullough was arrested after stealing a Toyota RAV4 from a Ace rent-a-car. She was found less than a mile away, hiding at a hotel. Why would you only go a mile? On the scene, McCullough told a local news station, "Demons told me to do it. I didn't take it. Demons took it." She continued.
I'm gonna go with that defense.
I tried to rent it, but y'all didn't want me to rent a car. Y'all talking about how y'all didn't have any cars to rent, so I stole y'all's fucking car. Police found McCullough hiding in a hotel room. When they eventually got into her room, they handcuffed her and put her in a patrol car.
Now, was that the voice of the demon?
No, that was her voice, I think.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, she
demons
said the
don't,
demons
demons don't
told
use
it.
y'all.
They do in the South, Chris.
They use these and thous.
You'd be surprised to know that McCullough has had prior arrests on her record, including charges of trespassing, resisting police, theft of a firearm, battery of a law enforcement officer, and more. You'd be interested to know that.
Impersonation of a demon.
Yes, pretty much. Now, I lost the last story, so I got to find it again.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wait, I think I found it. It's a UFO.
It's kind of long, Steve. You're going to have to paraphrase on this
I
one.
truncate every story.
I hope so.
That's my word of the week.
You're going to need to truncate this one.
Okay, this is from Freep. F-R-E.
Last time that fucking
Freep.
Steve kidnapped a woman, he was like, my truncator.
Huh?
Oh, Yeah, no, it was a bad one.
No,
Steve.
that was
let
worse
me sit in that bucket. No, let me sit in that bag of shit.
Wow.
That was yeah, worse than my bad jokes.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I knew it as soon as I threw it out there.
Lake Michigan UFO sighting still unsolved after 25 years. Wow. The eerie lights filled the sky along nearly 200 miles of Lake Michigan's shoreline from Ludington to the South Indiana border. On March 8, 1994, calls flooded 911 to report strange sightings in the night sky. The reports came in from all walks of life, from police officers to meteorologists to residents of Michigan's many beach resorts. Hundreds of people witnessed what many insisted were UFOs, or, for those of you who don't know what UFO stands for, unidentified flying objects. Unidentified? God, I'm having trouble.
And for those of you who still don't know,
Cindy
This is the Sweetwater legend.
Cindy Pravda, 63, of Grand Haven, remembers that night in vivid detail.
In deal.
It's your fault. 4 lights in the sky that looked like full moons over the line of trees behind her horse pasture. I got UFOs in the backyard, she told a friend on the phone.
I got a UFO in my backyard.
Today, the mystery of the largest UFO sighting in Michigan history remains unsolved, but it continues to fascinate.
Steve, if you have an unsolved UFO mystery, it's gotta be ancient aliens.
It continues to fascinate extraterrestrial researchers, psychologists, and history buffs. Let's go down to the end of the story now.
Let's skip over all the meat and potatoes.
The same year, a photo of a furry creature in the Upper Peninsula surfaced, sparking conversation about a possible Bigfoot. At that time, the Upper Peninsula Bigfoot Sasquatch Research Organization, I didn't even know that was a thing, also reported a sighting near the community of South Branch in Ogama County. There, that's the end of the story. I skipped like 4 paragraphs.
what happened?
There were UFOs.
It said it's still unsolved.
It's an unsolved
Okay,
mystery.
so how do we get from UFOs to the Upper
Because
Peninsula
it was in
Bigfoot
the
group?
Same year.
I think that
Oh,
I bet you, Matt, they were trying to make the Bigfoot UFO
they
connection.
were
That's what they were doing.
You know, because every
Via
time I watch
the
the
Upper
Ancient
Peninsula
Aliens
Bigfoot Sasquatch Research Organization Group Unit.
thing.
Have you ever heard of them, Matt?
No.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was such a thing. But there is,
Yeah.
according to the Detroit Free Press, or freep.com.
Ah,
Freep.
freak.
Rest of the news.
Good stuff, Steve.
Yep.
That's
Steve.
the news.
Steve, you're a legend.
Sweetwater legend, apparently.
You are the Sweetwater legend. On that note, this has been the Fortean Slip, episode 68, The Legend of Sweetwater. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Check out Matt Knapp at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads and Cryptid Tales. Steve, that's not the Tales on Animals. By
Yes,
the way.
I figured that out 3 shows ago.
But you know what I just realized?
What's that?
Next episode's going to be hell with Steve.
Why?
And
Why
you know
that?
why.
No. I kind of don't.
Oh.
Do you think he's gonna
Well, you know how
lash
his...
out?
No, you just know how he's like stuck in junior high whenever it comes to his sense of
Oh,
humor.
yes.
See, here he's already picked up on it. That's right, baby. Episode 69.
Now it makes total sense. Check out Phil Polling's YouTube channel, youtube.com/parabreakdown. Phil's on vacation. He will not be on the Squatchable podcast for another week. Check out Richard's blog. The link is below the video on YouTube. And check out Bigfootin' with Keith and Colin on Facebook. As always, check out our good friend Dred Funn. He's been at a con this weekend. schlepping his wares. You can check him out at dredfunn.com and youtube.com/dredfunn. Get in touch with the man. Have him do some commission artwork for you. You know, Fred is not unreasonable on his prices. If you got something that you want done, give the man a holler, talk to him, tell him what your thoughts are, and I will guarantee you Fred will give you back something that completely makes sense and that you will love. Every time I have collaborated with that man on art, he has come back with something that's blown me away.
I like how you put on art in there.
I hate you.
What else has he collaborated him?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
I hate you, Steve.
Jesus. This guy.
So you say episode 69 is next, huh?
Yeah.
Completely on point with everything else, but just can't read an article.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that's what makes me the legend.
If you say so. So yes, we will be back next week with an inappropriate show for all of you, as always. Thank you for listening. See ya!